Hi, and welcome to day 3 of the 5-day prenatal teacher training. Congratulations, you made it to the halfway point. Honor yourself for fulfilling on your intention thus far. Today we get rewarded with a little play. So the word for play in Sanskrit, the language of yoga, is lila. And lila really means the play of the universe or the play of nature. I loved it so much that I named my daughter Lila. And she really fulfilled on her promise of just teaching me so much about play. So babies always come out ready to play, right? This is how they learn how to be in their body. They learn about the world. They learn what's possible. And so we all have this as part of our nature. This is a super important element to bring into whatever co-creative act we're working on, whether that's creating a transformative pregnancy, labor, and motherhood, or becoming a prenatal teacher, or practicing a pose, or teaching a pose. We want to bring this playfulness into it, writing a book. And the element that's most connected to this is water. So the water element, if you think about a babbling brook, it's really hard to be super serious around it. It kind of brings out the play in you, and you want to get your feet wet or hop on the rocks or whatever. So this water element is mostly we want to bring it into our hips, our low back, our thighs. So if you think about dancing, what happens? Generally, we stick our booty out, we sway, go side to side. And this is a wonderful release for the lower back because the lower back has a natural curve. So the groins right here, these muscles that go deep into the pelvis, if you put your fingers right where your thigh meets your pelvis, these are your groin muscles. And these are the first responders to stress. So when, we get a text that freaks us out or whatever, or if we're pregnant, when we, worry about something, we start to tighten here. This is the body's response. And generally it's to things like, oh, there's a bear, we better run. So it's squeezing here, it's pulling the thighs forward so we can start to run. Well, when we remind ourselves there's no bear and we release the groins back, right? We kind of stick our booty out so the groin muscles are going back. It sends this message to the nervous system, everything's okay. And so it's a very important action to do when we're pregnant, because not only does baby need space in the back of our pelvis to move into, right? So a lot of people talk about pushing. That pushing sensation is feeling like you have to poop because it's toward the back. But also these groin muscles are very close to these ligaments called the round ligament that attach the uterus to the front of the pelvis. These ligaments are interesting. They are very unique because they react like muscles. If they get pulled too much, they cramp up, they tighten up. Now, this cramping feeling is something you might hear from prenatal students, and they say, yeah, I don't know, it feels really weird, right? It's scary to have cramping when you're pregnant. So we don't want to feel that. But the nice thing is now you understand how to make it go away. You just have to put them in a position where they're no longer tucking under and squeezing their groin muscles. This position, it can be just standing, sticking the booty out. If they're sitting, you can have them pull their butt back so they're more forward. Anytime the butt is behind us and our thighs are pressing back, we're able to get the watery element into that area. So I'm going to teach you a couple poses where you can do this. The first one is downhill skier. So go ahead and come to stand. For any pregnant woman who says, oh, my low back is hurting, I just have her come to stand. And for pregnancy, we're always going to do wider than hips, depending how big baby and belly are. Place your hands on your thighs and then lift and spread all 10 toes. So Take a nice deep breath. And on your exhale, see if you can feel the four corners of your feet descending into the earth. Now you can place your feet back down, but it's really about not just making space, but allowing yourself to be fully supported by the earth. And then imagine you have a big block between your legs and squeeze it. You can touch your inner thighs, see if it's engaged. It should be. We're in the second sacred step of sourcing your strength, right? Hugging into the center. Use that strength now for the third, which is sticking your booty out, taking the inner thighs back, and even give it a little shake, turning each thigh in and widening. So you'll feel how that widening helps baby have space in the back of the body, but it also, sticking that booty back, gives you back your natural curve. So this can be instantly pain relieving. You can use a wall if you have one. You can place your hands on the back of a car if you're walking around. So that's downhill skier. Very, very important therapeutic pose. And now you understand why it works. And now we're going to bring that into a little vinyasa called the moon vinyasa. I get a lot of trainees saying that they use this in regular classes because it feels so good. So first, coming into a squat, place your heels on a blanket or a bolster, and you can turn your toes out as much as you need to be able to get your heels down. But go ahead and place them as parallel as you can with your heels down. Elbows inside your legs. Deep breath in. And on your exhalation, bow in, soften the ribs back. And just remember, you are part of something bigger. That this intelligence within you, it senses what's next. How can we play at being ourselves in a new way? How can we discover some part of ourselves that we might not have even known was there? Just trusting you are on that path because you have chosen to be. And then with your inhalation, start to squeeze your elbows with your legs. If you can get your elbows a little lower, your thighs can start to fire up. Now lift your butt up if you can and push your thighs back. So this is really hard, but it's a subtle thing. But if you feel like the inner thighs can move back and your butt can widen behind you, you're doing great. On your exhalation, let your heels get heavy, let your hips get heavy. On your inhalation, lift your heart. And now we're going to start to move fingertips forward, step off the blanket, and bend your elbows, release. You can bend your knees as much as you need to, feet outer hip width. And then on your inhale, come high up on two fingers on each hand. Look down and forward. If that's hard for you, you can take your hands to your knees and stretch, but your butt is sticking out behind you. And then exhale, touch the floor. Go as straight as it feels okay to do in your body. Let your head release down. Then bend your knees, place your hands on your thighs. Inhale, come all the way up, arms out to the side, palms together over your head, and then step back onto your blanket, come back into your squat. So let's do that a couple more times with your breath, just playfully moving. Inhale, heart lifts, and exhale, fold. You can step off, release all the way. Bend your knees. Inhale, lengthen, looking down and forward, stretching through the back of your neck as well as the front. Exhale, go towards straight legs, release. Bend your knees. You can place your hands on your thighs or arms out to the side. Inhale, rise all the way up, heart lifts. And then your eyes follow your heart, palms together. Last one, all the way back down into a squat. See if you can engage, connecting into your steady center. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, fold, stepping off. Press the thighs back, so even here, you can be releasing your groins. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and fold. Bend your knees, hands to your thighs. Inhale, rise on up, reach up. And come back down into your squat. Take a moment to set your intention for your day. How can you bring a little more play into it? What areas maybe do you feel like you've been a little serious? And maybe you're blocking yourself from this flow that could help you move through it. Tomorrow we'll talk about bringing power into the body. So we're not going to walk around with our butt sticking out like a chicken. So how do we also root in? And this is something that is really important to understand for our pregnant mamas because a lot of myths surround using our core when we're pregnant. So I'm going to clarify that for you, how to do it safely, effectively, and and help people really stand in their power during this exciting time. So thank you so much. Namaste.